Hi and welcome back to the Geek and Hermit. This is our review of Devil May Cry, which is a brand new release, but with a new developer at the helm this time, which is Ninja Theory, who are behind games such as Enslaved Odyssey to the West, which is personally one of my all-time favourite games. It's just a bit of an undiscovered gem, really. But I wanted to do a review of this game because it's getting a lot of flack on the forums and in some reviews as well over the Dante change and the fact that he's given him a complete look overhaul and made him a little more emo. But I think they're overplaying it personally, because, well, the best way to describe it really is like comparing it to the first time you do a driving lesson for the first time. The first 10 minutes are awful. You think, oh my god, what's this? Get me out. I'll never get to like this. But once you get past that, it's actually brilliant, and you'll find you love it and just actually want to carry on. See, I think they purposely make Dante as annoying as possible at the beginning. I mean, the opening scenes have him drinking at some nightclub, going back for a random threesome with two strippers, and then waking up and coming to the door stark bollock naked, some girl he's never met before. So you think he's just trying to act overly cool and just being a complete tosspot, really. But I think this lends really well into the progression of the character, because as the game goes on, certain events happen, and you see his character developing as the story goes on, so that by the end of the game he's actually developed into a well-rounded bloke, really, and is actually quite likeable. So the comparison between Dante at the beginning of this game and the end of the game is quite massive. Dante's brother Virgil also makes a reappearance in this game, well, not quite as insane as he was in previous installments, although he's also taken a bit of an overhaul as well. But to fans of the series, all I'll say is by the end of this game it is business as usual in that department as well, really, and I won't say any more than that. They have improved the platforming sections of this game, I thought, personally, as in you can see now the environments will change and shift in everything around you as it's all going on, and this is due to most of it will be done in a place called Limbo, which is kind of like a world between worlds, which I think is controlled by the demons. I never quite grasped that, but what it means is on some levels you'll have the floor completely collapsing as you're running along, buildings will shift in an attempt to crush you, and just all manner of things, really. And then these parts are really, really good, and just to liven up the standard platforming sections of games. And also with some of Dante's abilities that he's got, it just makes it a joy and a breeze, really, to get around, as well as various abilities like usual chain whips, so you can grab distant objects and just what you come to expect, but you can chain loads of moves together and get around quite easily, really. It's just, it flows really, really well, and it doesn't take all that much effort to pick it up, because sometimes I hate platforming games that just make it so damn fiddly. You're scared to death to press one button wrong and then you just have to do it all over again. Now, I do have to say the environments in this game are very, very varied as well. We have like decrepit old rundown fairs, an underwater upside down prison, towns, cities, an old mansion, and everything really in between you can imagine. They have, I thought, improved the story of this game, and also with that they've improved the voice acting a great deal. There are still the odd one-liners in there that I think really are more of a wink back to the old days. Slightly corny, or something you'd imagine out of an Arnie film from the 80s, which, you know, it's corny, and I think the developers know it's corny. It's just there to make you laugh, I think, really. Or your toes killed, depending. But it's the first Devil May Cry game I've ever really got into the plot, and actually by the end I actually wanted it to carry on, not just in an attempt so I can batter more demons and everything, but so I could actually carry on the plot and see where it went. Now, they have improved the combat in this game, I thought, a great deal, as to change between weapons and everything. Now you don't have to faff about with menus, you can just do it on the fly sort of thing. Like, you'll have buttons tied to your swords and your guns, but if you hold down the left trigger you'll have access to more moves, hold down the right trigger you'll have access to other moves, and what this means is just on the fly you can chain together massive combos, and it looks really quite, well, it looks really quite impressive as you see it all just flying in motion, going from one move to the next and the next. And these are just a quick look at some of the boss fights you can have. And to be honest, I think due to the sheer size of them, sometimes they're a bit easy really. I mean, I found certain enemies actually harder than the bosses, but they are visually impressive. And they also do mix it up, kind of like you'll have some platforming elements into it, or they'll keep it interesting even though they are quite easy. Now, there's one thing I'll have to point out to older fans of the series. You probably want to start this off on the hardest difficulty when you first start it, because on normal it's really aimed at newcomers to the series really, because it's a little too easy. But what you will find, you'll start off with 3 difficulties, but when you clear it for the first time you unlock a load more, and that is where the insane difficulties come in. I mean, there's even a mode where 1 hit will kill you, and an achievement for finishing it on that. But God knows I'm never even going to attempt it. But this game I'd give it a 9 out of 10 because it's absolutely brilliant, easy to pick up and play, visually spectacular, and I just think anyone that moans about this game because Dante looks different is just missing out. So do yourself a favour and pick it up. Thanks for listening guys, see you next time.